So I was at a cubing competition called Cubing with the Cats, even though there are no cats. I think there was actually a dog, but anyway. This was my first time doing skewb in a competition. There were 2 rounds, a first round and a final. I qualified for the finals with an average of 7.57, which for me was good, but I knew I could do better. However, I was not ready for what was about to happen. My average for the final took so long, just so many weird things happened. So I sat down for my first solve, and at this moment of time, my personal best is 4 seconds flat. But then, this happened. What the f- I got a 3.15, destroying my personal best. It was a 10-move solution and it put me 3rd in my country. I don't practice skewb a lot, so this was very undeserved. If any of these people got the same scramble, they would have done it a lot faster. Anyway, then came the second solve, and first of all, the skewb came like this, so I had to do like a half turn before inspecting. But then, during inspection, I realized the scramble looks really similar to the first one. I wasn't 100% sure that it was the same scramble, so I started the timer just in case it wasn't.
The same scramble. Sorry, I got an extra solve because that was the same scramble as before.
Keep in mind, I could have just done another 3-second solve and show no in the footage, but I didn't because I'm a good angel. We called one of the delegates over and said that I got the same scramble twice. He asked for proof, so I showed him the video of the 2 solves. After a while, he agreed and I got an extra solve. Something interesting is that they could have gave me the actual scramble for the second solve, but instead they just gave me the extra scramble, so that is the official rule. Anyway, this solve was normal and I got a 6.97, which I was pretty happy about. So it was time for my third solve and the chaos continues.
No! That was a good solve as well.
What's the It doesn't have to be sub like one.
Point.
It's a 0.48 or is it?
No, it's like 0.06.
So what the judge is talking about here is that there's a rule where if the timer stops below a certain time, you get a resolve instead of it being disqualified. This is because it would more likely be a timer malfunction rather than the competitor accidentally stopping the time. None of us were sure what time it had to be below, but I later found out that I was right in saying it had to be below 0.06. But wait a minute, I didn't look back at the footage until after the competition. Where in this video do I stop the timer early? I watched this back so many times and I still can't see it. I don't know, I might be blind, so please let me know what you think in the comments. Anyway, the solve was put down as a DNF. It was time for the fourth solve and yeah, just watch.
Yeah. Whatever.
So I had to get yet another extra solve. And even this solve was kind of weird.
That was so scuffed. Oh my god.
So what happened there is that I did the wrong algorithm, but it ended up being better because I was able to skip the last step after fixing my mistake. And there you go, there is my scorecard after a roller coaster of an average. And that's the end of the chaos, right? My average took so long that people were already starting the next event, which is 2x2. So I went back to my table in the waiting room, put back my skewb and started practicing 2x2. Suddenly I hear, Callan, which is my name. And at this moment I'm thinking that I'm being called for 2x2. So I go over with my 2x2, but then I see a delegate with my skewb scorecard in their hand. And that's when I realized I've only done 4 solves for skewb. The confusion was that this solve was an extra solve which should have been put down here, but it was originally put here, but then it was crossed out and put down there. And then for the third solve, the time should have been put in the third box, but it was wrongfully put in the fourth box because there's something already in the third box. So then the time for the fourth solve was put in the fifth box. To be fair, I was the one who should have realized this, so it was definitely my fault that this happened. So I had to run back to my table, pull my 2x2 away, get my skewb and run back up to get my skewb scrambled. And while everyone else was doing 2x2, I was doing my final skewb solve. It was really lucky that I wasn't in this group for 2x2. If I was, then I don't know how that would have worked out. The fifth solve was an 8.25, which was a little bit disappointing, but it wasn't terrible. After the solve, the delegate literally had to draw another box in and write the time in. I finished with a 6.58 average. This was pretty good for me, but if the timer didn't stop in the third solve, this would probably have been a mid or high 5 average. However, I was still happy with 6.58. So let's just recap real quick. I got an NR3 in my first solve, the same scramble twice in a row, my timer stopping early, a solved cube as the scramble, a mistake which turned out to be genius, and me not realizing I haven't even finished my average yet. That is a total of 6 things that should not have happened, but they were really funny and made my day a lot more exciting. Also, thank you to all the delegates who always handle these kind of situations really well. Anyway, that's the end of the video. If you haven't already, please let me know what you think of this timer stop. Oh yeah, also like and subscribe. Thank you for watching and I'll see you in the next one.